Okay, thank you very much for kind invitation. It's very a pleasure to be with you today. I have several t-shirts. First of all, I am an anesthesiologist. I work in intensive care. Now I work on Dr. Car in emergency service. And this is my first t-shirt. I have a lot of conflict of interest. Unfortunately, no money, only intellectual conflict of interest. Unfortunately. So, I am the co-chair of science education for ERC. I work for ERC, and this is my second t-shirt. The third t-shirt, a strange communication working group, because you know, have you seen, I am a geek. So this is my third t-shirt. Yes, I was the president, and I'm old, you know. I'm past president of Italian Resuscitation Council. My preferred t-shirt is I'm Star Wars, Star Trek addict, and I'm so sorry for that, and I'm a stalker. Sorry for that. And I try to become Kirk, very old, fatty Kirk. I'm sorry for that. So, this presentation, as usual, is dedicated to the next generation. Viola was born 40th of February 2008, received its first photo by iPhone, slept with music from YouTube, and unfortunately, first augmented reality experience through iPhone. And this presentation exactly is for this generation. My captain's log, I told you, I'm a stalker, sorry. This is my captain's log. 1 hour, don't worry. I think 1 hour and enough, I think is enough. So I'll talk about Kids Save Life, learning style, generation, CPR school training, European Restart Art Day, World Restart Art Day, a breathtaking picnic, relief, and virtual reality. Everything in half an hour. 1 hour. 1 hour and a half, depends. Okay. So, Kids Save Life. I'm so proud to be part of project leader. I am a young Padawan. He is the real Master Jedi. Professor Ben Botinger invented the Kids Save Life project and spread the word around the world. And yes, do you know what is Kids Save Life statement? It's a worldwide campaign supported by ILCOR, ERC, and other international society endorsed by WHO. And a worldwide Kids Save Life statement. We recommend education in school children in resuscitation from the age of 12 or earlier for 2 hours per year. Easy, not easy. But this is the statement of Kids Save Life. ERC published in 2016 a position statement. It's like a cake, the good receipt for CPR school children training, the principle for implementation in every country, and we translate with the help of every national resuscitation council. There is a very big network. We are under the umbrella of ERC, and there are a lot of resuscitation council that work on several topics. This is one of 40. You know, language is a barrier. You know. My English is a very terrible Italian slang English. It's terrible, you know. If you want to implement something, you need to translate in your language. And this is one of the reasons, because we talk in several languages, and we ask to the National Resuscitation Council to translate Kids Save Life campaign. So, sound please. Can I have sound from the PC?
Arriving to a cardiac arrest is primarily a matter of time, and all of us, really all, can do something. Like what? Cardiopulmonary resuscitation can save a life. Today, you can learn CPR also in your school. You just need to know 10 fundamental principles. Everyone can save a life. Even children can save a life. Up to 2 hours of CPR training a year for school children is enough. Theory is important, but so is practice. To learn CPR, you can use ordinary everyday objects. Annual training of school children should start by the age of 12 years or earlier. Teaching CPR can also be a fun assignment, so that you can share what you have learned with those who are close to you, parents, brothers and sisters, and friends. You can learn CPR in many places and from many different teachers. The governmental institutions should support CPR national programs. And every National Resuscitation Council should do the same, promoting the Kids Save Lives campaign. Learning how to save a life means growing up and becoming more responsible within your community, but also helping your own country grow, supporting those who strive for our health. So, saving a life is child's play, and we can all give a hand.
So this was a official ERC trailer for Kids Save Life campaign in 2015. And always around the umbrella of ERC, we published in 2006 a photo of Europe in terms of implementation and what happens in Europe in terms of law and suggestion in terms of CPR training. We have a law in Italy, but this is a hint for you. If you have a law, it's not gold standard because we have a law, yeah, but it's not implemented yet. I'll show you after our story. It's a happy, sad story, only to give some suggestion for the future. Okay, this was 2016, and this was 2018. We increased the number of nations in Europe that suggest CPR, and increased also a big social media community around Europe. And if you check on Facebook, Twitter, there are a lot of events, a lot of nice experience all over the Europe. So, learning style generation and CPR school training. Talk about this. As you know, every generation learns skill and knowledge in different way. I'm old. I'm part of Generation X. We need to understand how is learning style for the next generation. They are like Alice in Wonderland. They love collaboration. They love, unfortunately. How many of you got a telephone mobile here? Raise your hand. Okay. No telephone? Somebody? How many of you 2 telephone mobile? Okay. So, yes, the next generation, collaboration, telephone mobile, social network, they are, with one word, a real geek, much better than me. So, there are a lot of science about CPR school training. I strongly suggest this very nice paper from Amy de Back from Belgian Red Cross. We use it in Italy as a reference with Ministry of Education to build our first aid training program. It's a very nice article. So, yes, we have a lot of science, but maybe we need to learn how to teach to the next generation. As an Italian Resuscitation Council, I'll tell you our vision. I'll tell you how we have working since 2015 to make it happen. And 2015 was amazing year, very good memories. Italian Parliament introduced the new law about first aid and training school curriculum in Italy. An incredible chance for increased culture of CPR in the school in Italy. This is our 2 deputies that have been undersigned the law, the President of the Chamber, the Deputy Minister of Education. Thank you again to Master Jedi because Professor Boettinger helped us to introduce Kids Save Life in the Chamber of Deputies. This is another example of collaboration between National Resuscitation Council under the umbrella of ERC. If I arrive the alien from another nation and say, this is a good standard for your nation, could be useful, for example, for the politician. This was a flash mob in front of Chamber of Deputies in Rome. In 2015, it was an amazing year. We organized a mass training event during Expo in Milan. We trained around 5,000 students of secondary school in BLS. And we organized inside a big Congress area. And the Red Cross in Milan, this is real, that art is real. Use a big art, this is the sign of our cardiac arrest campaign in Italy. And yes, everything happens from 2013 under the umbrella of European Restart Art Day that became World Restart Art Day. And for example, this is my son, 2013. He was born in 2010. In 2016, we have Kids Save Life as a claim for European Start Day. In 2016, Society Save Life. And we organized several events in Italy under the umbrella of Viva campaign. Viva is our cardiac arrest awareness campaign. We use event with population, serious game, video. It's like a blended campaign. We use several. We were in the school in 2014, and this was in front of the parliament 2015. In 2016, another mass training during our congress under the claim Kids Save Life, and we train around 3,000, another 3,000 students of secondary school. 2016, again, mass training, and we certified all the students in BLS. Last year, we invented a new campaign because I was president, and this affects deeply the vision of Italian Resuscitation Council, unfortunately. We started under the umbrella of Kids Save Life campaign, our viral video called Live Long and Prosper, and I'll show you the video. Enjoy.
Welcome to the International Cosplayers Fair. We remind participants that registration is open to try the new Galactic Particle Accelerator, and that it is prohibited to smoke and teleport without the prior permission of the administration. In case of a cardiac arrest, we urge participants to follow these instructions. If the person is unconscious, gently shake his shoulders and ask loudly, "Are you all right?" If the person is not responsive, gently tilt his/her head back and lift his/her chin. Look at the victim's chest to check whether he/she is breathing normally. This should require no more than 10 seconds. If the person is unresponsive and is not breathing normally, ask a helper to call the emergency service.
See you.
Want a balloon?
Ooh, I'm sexy.
Or perhaps it's best if you call the emergency service.
Haha! Live longer and prosper!
Follow the instructions given by the dispatch operator, possibly activating the speakerphone function on your phone. Ask anyone near you to bring you a defibrillator. A real defibrillator. In the meantime, perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR. Kneel beside the person, place your hands one on top of the other in the center of the victim's chest. With your arms straight, press on the lower half of the sternum deeply and rapidly with a rate of about twice per second and without stopping. Allow the chest to recoil completely between each compression without removing your hands. If a defibrillator is available, have someone switch it on while you continue to press on the chest. Follow the instructions the defibrillator will provide to you. Remember to stop chest compressions only if indicated by the defibrillator. We urge participants to consult the site www.ircouncil.it to find out more about the correct procedures to be performed in case of a cardiac arrest. We wish that everyone will live long and prosper. In case of a cardiac arrest, we urge participants to follow these directions.
So, obviously, we use a different way to communicate to the general population. Obviously, this video is targeted to kids, to, I can say, secondary school. And we work a lot in terms of communication because, you know, it's not easy to use our strange word with the general population. This year, we organized, in connection with ERC and ILCOR, a World Restart Art Day, and was an amazing experience to transfer experience for Europe around the world. We are very lucky because we organize inside the Colosseum a mass training. It's a very iconic place. And I think this could be useful for the future to increase the awareness in population, to organize in a very nice environment. Imagine in Grand Canyon or something like that. So, back in time was 2015, European Start Day, Kids Save Life was the claim. We released in 2015 several free presents for the general population. Training materials for teacher, training video, testimonial video. We built an application for primary school called A Breathtaking Picnic, and we produced a real video game called Relieve. This is an example, for example, for primary school with the characters of A Breathtaking Picnic. It is an innovative tale. I'll tell after about Breathtaking Picnic. This is training material for secondary school. We produce poster for primary and poster for secondary school. So, I talk now about A Breathtaking Picnic. And yes, we are in time, half an hour. Magic Years 2015, we produce a free app called A Breathtaking Picnic in collaboration with several councils. The Tutumbier speak Italian, English, French, Deutsch, and Netherlands, Flemish in real. So, it is a tale and a game with information for relatives, and you can use with the kids like a game. Please switch on your mobile, if you got one mobile per person, somebody, and download this free. It's also in Deutsch, you can use it. And at the end of the session, if you want, you can also play the game inside you can find on Apple Store and Google Play. The name is A Breathtaking Picnic. I'll show you in the meantime the video. English is a real barrier, so I prefer your original language.
Ein atemraubendes Picknick. Guten Morgen, ihr Schlafmützen. Wisst ihr, was heute für ein Tag ist? Los, aufstehen! In wenigen Stunden beginnt das große Frühlingspicknick. Und es sind noch 100.000 Dinge zu erledigen. Zum Glück ist schon jemand bei der Arbeit. Bei Familie Eichhörnchen sind alle voll beschäftigt. Mama und Papa backen eine schöne Nusstorte. Und die beiden Junghörnchen streiten sich, wie immer. Meine! Schreit die kleine Gulpi und umklammert die Haselnuss, die ihr Hustus gerade stibitzen will. Und um die Nuss nur ja nicht dem Brüderchen zu überlassen, verschluckt sie mit einem Haps. Im Ganzen. Oh je!
Uh-oh. So, the end of the story, please download the app and try to use with your kids or in the classroom as you want. As you know, Italy is a crazy, it's a crazy country, but beautiful. And for this reason, we produce an app, but also we produce a book. And obviously, this in the respect of different learning style, because you know, some kids love books and some kids love tablet. So we use the app and the book with training materials to play with the kids and inform relatives about cardiac arrest and choking. This is an event in kindergarten, and I'll show you team training. That is my son. So we use traditional training with mannequin, we use app, we use video, we use book. Again, for secondary school, now I talk about Relieve. We produce a serious game called Relieve in 2015. A real game, a new approach to serious game. Relieve is a free sci-fi adventure about CPR. You can download for free from Steam. Steam is like Apple Store for hardcore gamer. You can download game and you can download Relieve. Relieve is in Dutch, in Italian and in English, because we won in 2011 a prize during the Games for Health Europe Congress, and we won a prize of 200,000 euro to create a serious game for no profit purpose. And with that money, we produced this game. A very complex project, 2 years of development, 3 sessions, training and tournament mode. Tournament mode is similar to the virtual reality outside. And story mode is a real video game. I'll show you.
Commissioner Stone from Palmer Outpost, broadcasting to all frequencies. This is a maximum priority alert. A massive nanite storm is heading
Obviously,
southeast from the
no blood, no gun.
We have an
You are on
unprecedented
Mars,
surge
you
of
have to
radioactivity
rescue
replication rate.
patient.
Habitats in Tharsis zone have already been hit. I repeat, Tharsis is now a non-secure area. Evacuate immediately to Palmer. Do not leave anyone behind. This planet needs every single one of us.
And inside the game, you have to, in some way, pass the level with the BLSD training in holodeck virtual reality experience on computer. You have to choose the correct answer. And this is for secondary school, because obviously you have to be a little bit geek in comparison to the primary school. We organize, again, event and training session during our Cardiac Arrest Awareness Week in public event. At that time, we used Kinect. Kinect was a device from Microsoft that Microsoft used for gaming. Kinect track your movement in the space. We collaborate with University of Pisa and we compare the Kinect system in comparison to the Vicon. Vicon is a system that check everything and it was used, for example, for the Lord of the Ring to create the characters of the film. It's a very high-level motion detection technology, and we compare the performance between a mannequin and the Kinect, and at that time the difference was only 4.3 millimeters in terms of chest compression depth. At that time we organized a study. We collect data from 65 students. We asked the student to participate voluntarily to a session, 2 minutes of chest compression only without any previous training. We call again after 3-4 months and we ask them to play with the Relieve for only 1 time. And after that, at month 8, we check again retention phase. I show you the results. Obviously, when they receive a feedback, they improve in comparison retention baseline in comparison to competition. Obviously, they improve because they receive a feedback. But I was very, very surprised. They remember. I'll show you maybe the graph is better. Baseline, 2 minutes of CPR without no feedback. Receive feedback from Relieve. Obviously, they improve because they receive feedback from the system. At 8 months after, they in some way remember their experience. This was our conclusion: improve significantly awareness in terms of knowledge of cardiac arrest and skills in a group of school children without any previous experience in CPR, and was able to improve retention of knowledge and was able to ensure retention of chest compression depth skill at 3 months after only 1 session of competition. So I'm very happy and proud to talk now about the new baby. virtual reality CPR. Everybody knows that some things are simply impossible until somebody who doesn't know that make them possible. And this was a real dream 10 years ago. Okay, first of all, what is virtual reality? Have you got some experience of virtual reality? Raise your hand. Okay, a few. This is one of the definition of virtual reality. Artificial environment which experience through sensory stimuli, blah, 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 blah. The term virtual reality was coined by Yaron Lanier in 1987, a very eclectic American guy, maybe abused some ketamine or something like that because he's very out of mind. This is a virtual reality history timeline you can find on Google. It's a very old story about virtual reality. Do you remember the film The Land Over Man in 1992 with Pierce Brosnan? Very old film about virtual reality. So, what is virtual reality? It's a very generic term. It's useful to define, underline a clear taxonomy about VR. Augmented reality is here, is integration of digital information with the user environment in real time. I'll show you after some example. Virtual reality is a computer technology. They use virtual reality headset and you are inside the virtual reality. I'll show you an example from augmented reality. This was 1977. This was augmented reality, and this is real. My wife tried to ask me a divorce because I asked to buy this. We are in the middle of... This is augmented reality experience. You are in your space, you wear your Google and play with your lightsaber. It's very cool, isn't it? Okay. And this is virtual reality, some experience. In the industry, chemistry students, and pediatric scenario of cardiac arrest. You are totally immersed in the scenario. So, around 12 millions of headsets from Samsung, Oculus, HTC, Sony. Oculus was bought by Zuckerberg, Facebook. And this is the market of different potential of VR and augmented reality application. Obviously gaming, but engineering, education. And if you check, if you are interested on PubMed, you can find, there is some surgeon here. Surgeon, orthopedics? Okay. You know, surgeon against anesthesiology, you know, is always a battle, you know. This time they won. Because look on virtual reality on PubMed, and you find thousands of articles and science. If you check, there is around 8,500 blah, blah, blah publication around virtual training, surgery, orthopedics. Only a few publications, some publication is my fault. And obviously, orthopedics, I have a fracture, I need to fix it, you know. But they won this time because they use extensively virtual reality for training during laparoscopy, for example. So, I have a personal experience, a personal roller coaster experience prospective study. I try in Legoland, and can you check the virtual reality experience there in comparison to real experiences was very immersive. And there are several other experiences around the world, some from the US, some close to us. The Resuscitation Council UK produced Lifesaver VR. It's the original Lifesaver application for the smartphone, but they transform in VR. We asked last year some opinion to the key person with the help of ERC ResearchNet, and we received 258 response from 80 countries. The background was key person in NRC, educator, instructor. Do you believe virtual reality could play a role in the future of training? Raise your hand if yes. No. Maybe. Okay. So, we are a believer. We receive, okay, yes, enthusiastic, yeah. Some maybe, I don't know, okay. Do you believe virtual reality could work better with some target group? Their response, kids, general population. Why not also? We are geek inside, you know, as a healthcare professional. Somewhere you are a geek. You are like a Peter Pan, you know. Try to find your geek inside. Instructor, but yes, maybe kids, general population. I mentioned before, we published in 2009 a short communication about VR prototype. We work in the last 10 years to develop a real one. In 2009, something like the headset outside cost thousands and thousands of euro only to have a prototype. I'll show you. This was the IRC Congress in Naples in 2009 with a very old prototype developed with the University of Pisa with terrible technology, with magnetic field. You are totally full of magnetic things around with terrible graphics. But was 10 years ago. This was my clinical director at that time, Erga Cerchiari. This is the son of president of IRC at that time. And the graphics was horrible. I can say it was very horrible. So, 10 years challenge. After 10 years, we transform virtual reality in reality. And this exactly what I talk about when I say after 10 years, my dream became a reality. So we produce and we develop a virtual reality CPR self-direct learning platform with the aim to teach to several target group, BLS and the use of AD. We find two general targets, general population and kids for increased awareness, for have a very immersive and engaging experience, and why not on a healthcare professional to create something for training center, possibility to train, to retrain, like a blended learning. So this is timeline. 1 year, only 1 year, I can say, after Relieve. Relieve, we spent 2 years to produce Relieve. 1 year of development. We present during ERC Congress. I'll show you. We receive a lot of support from 3 companies, Philips, Zoll, Physiocontrol, and we asked our foundation in Bologna to support this project. This is my fellowship of ERC, the Lord of the Ring. This is a scientific committee. Giuseppe Ristagno is a famous Frodo. He's worked on AMSA trial. Andreas Capigliati is Aragorn, is now the president of IRC. I'm Legolas. And we ask help because you need help. And we asked to Studio Evil. They are real video gamer developer, and we asked them to produce for us a VR experience. Different setup. This is the full setup for training center. You can try outside, and you can use headset tracker to track the movement, and this is for the 3D sound to immerse you in a virtual reality environment. This cost only, the hardware costs around 500 euro. 500 euro. 10 years ago, cost thousands of euro. Only to compare why it's different now. And you can use in your training center. We will publish on Steam Store, and you can use directly at home with controller. And we produce also the same application for Oculus Go. Oculus Go is a light version. It's very calm version, less interactive. It's like a film. And this is our product for the kids and for the school, for example. 3 scenario, out of hospital cardiac arrest scenario, chest compression only and defibrillation scenario in Santo Stefano Square in Bologna. Unfortunately, in hospital adult cardiac arrest scenario, BLS protocol, we have less money than the previous project that unfortunately, I was the patient in hospital cardiac arrest scenario for science. Third scenario, out of hospital pediatric cardiac arrest scenario with pediatric basic life support defibrillation in school. 3 virtual real AED from Philips Zoll and Physio Control. And we use a strange technique called photogrammetry. We take a lot of photo of everything. This is Bologna. We put inside the computer and they create virtual environment. This is the nurse in hospital. This is one of the office from IRC. And this was me, it's like in Blade Runner. We create a virtual replicant. They take a lot of photo. I stay for 1 hour in this way with clothes and without clothes, you know. Because I was in cardiac arrest in the scenario. They have to take a photo of my thorax and blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is the teacher of pediatric scenario. Very nice story. She is a doctor, and she is a cardiac arrest survivor of a terrible septic shock in intensive care. Spent 3 months in our intensive care unit with a terrible septic shock after cardiac arrest. And she became the teacher in our scenario with the other avatar. We have everybody is real, but we create avatar, rescue, patient, and obviously we teach on the field. The French Red Cross invited us last year, and we teach outdoor, and we published recently because we organized with the University of Bologna medical students a BLS, and we test VR experience against a standard reference, a Lerdal mannequin, and we try to understand how is different the quality feedback in terms of chest compression depth and rate, and we are very happy to say that only 3.7 millimeters in terms of chest compression depth and only 1.4 compression in comparison to real mannequin. That is useful for training, please not for clinical. Next week, we organize the first BLS quality CPR and virtual reality course in Italy with the use of virtual reality in a blended learning environment. So, future plans, implement BLS, why not, with quality CPR and virtual reality, publish on Steam Store and Oculus Store the application, and put some research on virtual reality training against standard training. My last video, this is the official trailer. Enjoy. So, my take-home message. Please share our crazy new campaign about Live Long and Prosper. If you publish some paper, put Live and Prosper slogan inside your paper. Please support Kids Save Life campaign in your country, a World Start Our Day, and teach and learn CPR as soon as possible. As Peter Safa said, if you can't win, change the rules. If you can change the rules, them ignore them. And when in doubt, think different, think outside the box, and do not conform. And may the force be with you always.
Federico, thank you very much for your enthusiastic talk. Thank you for all the inspirations you gave us. Yeah, do we have questions in the auditorium? Feel free to ask him. You have only the one chance.
How do you feel about scalability of this? I mean, this is now very specialized. And how do you think, I mean, you come with a big team that does everything, but how easy will it be to do that on a big scale to really train everybody who needs that training?
Obviously, in our work, we have to balance the cost. What is the target? If you have to organize a mass training, you can't use virtual reality because you have to train 5,000 students. Maybe you can use mannequin, inflatable mannequin, or you can use pillow. This, in my mind, in my vision, this is between basic training and high fidelity simulation in the training center, very complex from human factor with crisis resource management. Is it between basic training and I can say crisis resource management training in operating theater or something like that. And the other things you can organize on your own in your training center, for example, and you need less personnel, but we need to put some science if the quality of training in comparison to traditional trainings works at the same way. And this is my job for the next 2-3 years. I don't know if I respond to your question.
Other questions?
So thank you very much for this nice talk. I was thinking of the pictures you had in the Kids Save Lives campaign where they were working without VR, and then afterwards the games you introduced, etc. So what is the overall concept, for example, in Italy, and how do you think of implementing it? Because you mentioned there's a law, but you're currently on the way, because I think this non-inferiority of the VR against the standard training basically shows much options for it.
From 2013, we always try to find a way to engage population. From 2013, we use funny things to engage. In 2013, we use video on YouTube, we use application. The main purpose of virtual reality or the new geek things is to speak to the general population, to the kids with their own language. You can catch them, and obviously you use virtual reality. We use virtual reality on the field, for example. And in the blended learning way, you use virtual reality, but you use traditional training, you use e-learning. I think we need to combine different technique. My vision is not, I'm not so stupid to think that everybody and everything happen in virtual reality in the future, maybe in the next 50 years maybe. But at the moment, we need to try to find a mixed approach to the training. For the school, we use extensively, for example, a breathtaking picnic. We organize several events. We show the video. The application is very interactive. Obviously, you have to be aware in terms of the age of children, because you know there is some relative that they don't want to use smartphone, but they can interact with smartphone, for example. We use Relive in school because they are hardcore gamer. They play, I don't know, Fortnite. They play with Minecraft. My son spend half an hour 3 times a week because there is a restriction on Minecraft, and they read a lot of book on Minecraft, you know. And he was engaged by his friend on Minecraft, and he read a lot of book on Minecraft. Unbelievable. I don't know nothing about Minecraft. So I think this is a tools to catch the people, catch the students, and after administer some traditional training, some e-learning, some virtual reality, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? This is a real concept for the future. The next 10 years, maybe we need to think about high-fidelity simulation. It's not so extensive, the use of high-fidelity simulation overall in a healthcare professional, because cost. And it's very complex task to organize high-fidelity simulation environment. Okay? I don't know if I respond to your question.
Thank you very much for your talk. Do you know where the technique will go? Will it be in some time that the system is set up and is like a content management system where we produce our own scenarios, or will we need all the time this company for every little thing? Or could it be even possible that we could do the scenario on the fly according to the things that our participants make? Not only basic life support, but complex ones.
Very, very good question. 10 years ago, I dreamed to have this, exactly this, after 10 years happen. I can say now, in this time, it's very difficult to build on your own this environment, but I can imagine in the next, I can say 5 years, everything becomes more easy, cheaper. If you imagine that cost thousands of €1,000 and now cost only 100 or less than 1,000, obviously you need, like the technician in high fidelity simulation, you need somebody expert in this field. But I imagine in the next five years could be happen, yeah. Because obviously you need to tailor your scenario on your in situ, for example, simulation. You can create your own avatar, your operating theater, your ambulance. Yes, could be happen, but we need more time. Imagine that this is one of the first, there are several experiences on virtual reality applied to CPR, one in US, but we are, I can say, pioneer. It's very new field of research. I'm so proud of this.